Good evening and welcome to Product Highlight. This evening I will be highlighting the thoughtful, Thoughtful Journey Suite. There's different names for the suite, semi-different names for the suite as it is for the dies and the stamps. So please forgive me. I'm Nancy Dodge from YB Stamp, and I'm so glad that you joined me this evening. So this particular suite, Thoughtful Journey, will be available beginning May 1st. But I'm going to show you the products, sneak peek, and a whole bunch of different things to do with them. So I hope I inspire you. So here are the products. The suite comes with stamps, dies, embellishments, some beautiful 6x6 watercolor designer series paper, and also some, I can't really call it metallic, but it is a specialty kind of ombre type of designer series paper, and I'll show you a couple different things with them. So first we're going to start with the ombre kind of metallic paper, designer series paper, and you can see that it's kind of a little bit of Berry Burst, a little bit of Petunia Pop, which is one of the in colors coming May 1st, and then this one is Pretty Peacock and a little Lost Lagoon. And as you can see, I mean, it looks kind of silvery, but depending on the way that you shimmer it, you can see that it kind of picks up the colors from the paper. This is a Petunia Pop and Calypso Coral. Kind of an ombre look to that. And this is a Wild Wheat and Old Olive. And I guess I repeated myself. I missed a piece somewhere along the line, did I? No. I guess they're a little different, huh? As you can see. A little bit different. Anyway, it was a fun designer series paper to play with. Here are the watercolor sheets. I'm going to quickly show you what they are. There's too many colors to list, but there are 12 different design sheets, double-sided. So that's kind of like 24 options, right? So here's the cover, and this is the back. Here's the front, and this is the back. The front, and the back, and the front. I love the colors in these, they're just so pretty. And the back, and the front. This is my favorite piece. And the back, front, back. I love the richness of the Pretty Peacock in this. Front and back, front and back, and front and back, front and back, front, back. Look at the richness of the colors in there. Oh, beautiful. Front and back. So those are all the designer series papers in this 6x6 pack. Absolutely beautiful. I just love it. And well, let's show you the stamps first. Here are the stamps. Dearest friend, I appreciate you. Thinking of you fondly. Thanks. Miss you, and you make life better. And then there's 3 floral stamps and then just a little background stamp. And the dies. So this one counteracts with this one, and this one counteracts with that one. And then all these other ones are just dies, which are perfect for that watercolor paper. Just perfect. Alright. Let's start making some cards, shall we? I have a whole bin here ready for you. Alright, the first card I'm going to make I did pre-cut the papers because I thought it would go a little faster. So this is the wild wheat on one side, and then the I don't know if you'd call it like a sunset look or something, or I guess it depends which way you put it, because this could be water. Anyway, I'm going with this side, believe it or not. And then I cut these dies out with this die right here. And I cut two out. This one is actually, if you look close enough, you can see that it's cut out of the side piece of this designer series paper. And then I also cut one out of the Mossy Meadow. So I'm just going to quick put this together. Just show you easy. I have a sweatshirt on and now it's making me hot. Hold on just a quick second. Don't mean to take up your time. But I was cold when I sat down, and of course now that I'm moving around I'm not cold. Murphy's Law, right? Alright, I'm going to use my stamp and seal and just add a little to the back of this. Hope you guys all had a great weekend. Mine was pretty low-key, I guess, until last night when the Bruins game was on. So see, I just wanted a little bit of color there. And then, yeah, I could put this on. And I cut it a little bit smaller so that the wild wheat would show a little bit more behind. I'm going to actually turn it this way. I'm going to do it in portrait. So I'm going to pull out my silicone mat, and I'm using the multi-purpose glue, but I'm actually going to be squeezing it out of here because I can get a finer line of glue. Now you could also use the adhesive sheet on this if you want. But because there was so much detail, it kind of gets stuck in my my older plates because they've got so many grooves. So I opted to use this glue. And as you see, I am missing some spots and it's hitting my silicone mat, but the good news is the parts that it's hitting on the silicone mat easily just wipe off with a paper towel. That's what's so great about using this. And I'm just going to stick it at an angle, hold it down for a minute because it sticks pretty fast. See how that Mossy Meadow just pops? And I also have a piece of vanilla for the inside, and I thought I would cut this piece up, get my snips, and I'm just going to put a little bit of pieces in there inside that I thought would look pretty. Not too much. Now I can save the rest of that for later, but I'm just going to add a little bit of the glue. I'm going to stick this on the inside. Just hold it down a minute to let it stick. And add some to this piece. I hate covering up the back. They're both sides are just so pretty, but you know, each card is unique and it requires different colors. So because there are 4 of each, I find it easier. Go hold that down a minute. Close my glue. Now I also had these stuck aside. I was considering because it's from that same piece. You could do this. You could put it on the top and the bottom. But I opted for that fancier look. So that's okay. I'm entitled, right? Okay, and then I want to use my stamps. And I thought I would just do thanks. So I'll pull thanks out. And I have the wild wheat ink. And I pre-cut these using the deckled circles. Now, there are glimpses of this in the catalog that's coming May 1st, but you will be able to find it online too. And it's also, I think the deckled circles was actually just online. So there's thanks. I'm just going to pop it on. I think since I have the glue out, let's just use the glue. And because it's a circle, it'll stick a little better. Alright, just hold that down a minute. Sometimes I'll flip this over and put a little bit of weight on it just to hold it down so my fingers can do something else. Just a little tip. And then I'm going to pull out a couple of dimensionals. Don't need much because this circle's small. Pop this on the front. There we go. And put some stamp and seal in the piece for the inside. Pull it all together. Now, because it's a thank you card, I like to leave the inside blank so that you could write to a card to whomever you're sending it to. Now, I thought I had some bling pulled. I did. I did have some bling. I'm just going to put a little bit of gold on there. To give it a little pop. There we go. There's our first card. So inside. All right. Next card. I have to think of where to put it. All right. The next card I have is with the ombre paper, and I've cut it to size. This is for the inside. Now, I pre-cut dies from the die set. This one here. And this one here. And I'm going to color them. So I have some, now they're all stuck to itself. I have Stampin' Write markers in these colors, and I'm just going to quickly color these, show you how easy it is. I'm going to use, now this is Smoky Slate, and I'm just going to, I know it seems like an odd color for the stems, but I felt it would really bring things together on the with the ombre specialty paper. And make sure you've got something on underneath, because this is really thin. Unless you're being super neat, you're going to be upset with yourself. So make sure you got a paper underneath. But it doesn't take long to color this. Just a few wisps. So for those of you that aren't familiar with these markers, the Stampin' Write marker has a paintbrush on one end and a little fine tip on the other. But because I'm covering some area, I'm using the paintbrush end. Won't take long. But I just thought this was pretty. I'm trying to show you different ways to use the same pieces. So hopefully we'll accomplish that by showing you. Of course, this isn't my best work because I'm hurrying. I should slow down, but that's all right. I'll give the card to somebody I don't like. No, just kidding. All right. And then I have the petunia pop. And I'm going to color, I want both colors, so I'm going to put the petunia pop at the top. And then I have Highland Heather that I'm going to put underneath it, just to give it a little bit more contrast. Now, if you had blend pens, you could use this. I didn't have the blend markers yet in the petunia pop, so that's why I decided to go with the Stampin' Right markers. All right, give it a little bit more color. See, now the blend pens would just kind of pull this all together. But just a few brush strokes is all it takes. All right, almost done. Okay, so here's our first flower. I'll put it on the white so that you can see it. See how that just pops? Okay, now I'm going to also do one for the inside. Same thing with the smoky slate. Now the thing with the Stampin' Right markers is you don't want to necessarily color a large area because it'll leave streaks, which is what the blend pens are really good for. So this is not the same kind of flower, but I'm going to do the same effect with the petunia pop on the top and the Highland Heather on the bottom, just to give it that same effect. So here we go. Go away. No.
I can't.
No, go away.
No.
My husband's interrupting me. Can you believe that? I told him to be quiet. Does he? No, he does not. Okay. Well, let's start putting this together. Now this is going on the inside, so again, I'm going to pull out my silicone mat and I'm going to put glue on the back. I love this little bottle because the tip is so nice and fine. I'm just going to put this. Which way was I going to put it? This way. No. Yeah. Okay. Couldn't remember which I was doing, portrait or landscape. So there's the inside. And then, because I want to do this across. Maybe I wanted it across the other way. I did. I was going to do it the other way, but that's okay. We'll do it this way now. Alright, add some Stampin' Seal. That's what happens when we get interrupted. We're in our Zen zone, having a great time, creating cards, and people interrupt us. How dare they? Alright. Put this on the inside. I'm going to glue this on first because I'm going to pop the top of the other piece, so it'll be easier if this is already on. So I'm just going to center this. And then I'm going to put in Petunia Pop, I thought I would put Dearest Friend on it. Get a block. So for those of you that don't know, this is a bit sticky. So you just kind of put it down on your block, and then we're going to ink it up. There we go. Whoops, that's my water bottle. Sorry about that. And I'm going to put this here. So I need to snip that right there. And I'm going to stick this on with dimensionals, and I'm going to put a few dimensional pieces here. So the way I'm going to do that is I have my snips, and I have the pieces that go around the edge, and I'm just going to cut some small pieces to put on these flowers. So, like so. It just makes it pop just a little bit. And I will check the front to make sure I don't have any sticking out. I have a little bit, so I'm just going to take my snips and cut that a little bit so that you don't see it anymore. And then I'm going to put some glue at the bottom. Whoops, I should pull out my mat because I'll get it all over my workspace. And I am just doing the very bottom because I want the other to pop. I'm going to pull this over and take the little pieces off the back of these flowers. Flip it over. Stick those 3 flowers down. And then I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of this. Like 3 across it. Peel the backs off. You guys have these backings everywhere in your house like I do. Alright. I'm just going to put this across like so. And then I'm going to add these little adhesive backed pearl trio because I thought it would be pretty. Oops, one just popped off. Alright, so there's our next card. Isn't that pretty? Okay, I have 2 more. Trying to fill you with ideas. Hopefully I'm doing great. So I just cut a bunch of these and I'll save the rest for later. Now before I forget, I'm going to clean those 2 stamps that I just used. This is the Stamp and Scrub and Stamp and Mist. And there's little raindrops on one side and sunshine on the other, so you know which which side to squirt and wash and dry and wash and dry, because I'll end up with those inks all over me if I don't. Okay, this next piece I cut out dies, so I'm using this designer series paper because I just loved the way the two colors popped together. And I used some dies. I cut this out plain without stamping because I liked it plain. I did stamp it and test it, and I didn't like it as well. Now this one, what I did was, show you. Here are the dies. Here's one. And then there's also this one. So what I did was I cut this one out in, don't tell me, crushed curry. And then I cut this one out in mossy meadow. And then I used my fine tip glue and I glued them together. So these are the two die cuts glued together. See that? So put these back, otherwise I'll lose them. And I pre-cut some pieces here. So this ribbon is the is an online exclusive, and it's a metallic pretty peacock and gold. So I just pre-tied a double bow. And these are also in the dies. Show you. They're here. There are two of them. So I cut some up. I couldn't decide if I wanted to put these inside or if I wanted to put this like I had shown you before. So I don't know if you guys have a thought one way or the other, but I'll put the front together while you think about it. Move everything. Alright. You know what I didn't cut for this was a banner. So let me think what I could use for a banner for this. So I did use both the wild wheat and the crushed curry on this because I thought they worked well together. Close this up. And again, I left a bigger border for the card front because I wanted the color to pop. And I'm just going to glue this on here with my mat. I love the silicone mat. I just use it all the time because sometimes glue dots, I don't like taking the time to use glue dots on something so detailed as this. And also the stamp and seal just, it's not the same. Alright. Now I'm not going to make this pop like I did the last one. I'm just going to add glue to these pieces so that they stick. And then I'm going to stick the bow. I'm going to trim the edges so it's just a double bow. And I'm going to stick it right here. And I'm going to do it with glue And then to make it stick, I know this is funny, but I'm going to push it down, and then I'm going to take my block and just kind of to hold it in place while I put things away. Alright, put the silicone mat away. So did we decide on anything on the inside? I don't know. I don't know which to do. I think because we did the die cuts on the other one, let's do these strips of DSP on the inside on this one. Just adds a little something to the inside. You know, I don't like it plain, and I need to add a white in there so that you can write on it, because the pretty peacock, however pretty it is, unless you're using a metallic or white marker, you're not going to see it, are you? Alright, and I said I needed a banner. I thought I had one in here, but I must not have. Maybe it was this. Alright, let me quickly stamp something. How about missing you? That sounds good, doesn't it? I know, it's especially now that you haven't seen many people because of the pandemic. It's a good one to send. Alright, just going to ink this up. Alright, close it up. Quickly wash it before I end up with wild wheat on my wrist. And I think I'm just going to, I think I'll snip it sideways. How's that? Just to make it a little different. Get some dimensionals. Really only needs one, doesn't it? But I'll put two on. Pull it off. There we go. Well, this should be on there good now, hopefully. We'll find out in a minute, won't we? I usually let it sit and dry a little bit longer because I add more of the glue to make it hold. Alright. And then we can add this color. Oops, it popped off already. Alright, so there's our third card, front, inside. Alright, the last card, and I have a couple cards to show you too, so stand by. Alright, this one, whoops. I am going to show you something different. I cut two just in case, but. So this is a Berry Burst card base, and then I cut some Highland Heather and used the Fern 3D embossing folder in it. I'm just going to quickly mount this to the front of the card. And I see that I did not bring a white piece for the inside. Shame on me. Alright, then I'm going to use, lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, I'm going to use this stamp, and I have a block. I thought I pulled it out. Oh yeah, it's hidden under the cards. And I'm going to use the Stampin' Right markers again. And I need Berry Burst that I forgot to pull out. And I'm going to color this, but I'm going to do it in some green. Garden green? Garden green. There we are. So we're just going to color this stamp. Can you see it? So I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to color these leaves and the stems. Leave the flowers. We're going to do that in a different color. But this doesn't take long. Just trying to show you how many different things you could do with this set. As soon as I saw it, I fell in love with it. I absolutely loved it. And I color this at I don't do it straight down. I do it at an angle so that I don't ruin that nice feathery brush tip. And you're saying to yourself, but Nancy, isn't that drying? And you would be correct. But I'll show you when I'm done what I do. Uh-oh, I feel a sneeze coming on. Hold on, sorry. Excuse me. My husband just came home from motorcycle riding. And he brings with him all the pollen from everywhere he's been all day. Isn't that nice of him? Okay. Then I'm going to use the Berry Burst. I know I am coloring them very similar, but you'll see the difference in using the same stamp with different techniques, or the same, similar. And I'm going to show you something else really quick too with this. See, when I see this, I see thistle, so that's why I'm coloring it these colors. Have you ever been to Scotland where you see all the thistle? Oh, it's beautiful. It's just absolutely beautiful. It was thrilling to see it. I went with my mom many, many, many years ago. She's been gone about 10 years now. But I have some awesome memories of going to Scotland and Ireland with her. And this was one of the highlights, was seeing the thistle. Okay. Now, I'm going to huff on it. You ready? To moisten it up. And then I'm going to stamp it. There. Isn't that pretty? Now, I'm going to wash this with my Stampin' Scrub. Scrub it a little extra hard because sometimes the ink likes to sit on it. And I have another piece right here, and I'm going to stamp it lightly with this Memento. And then I'm going to stamp it off and then stamp it again. Oh, that come off. So it gives a light imprint. Cover my ink. And then I have these blend pens, and I have Old Olive, Berry Burst, and Highland Heather. And I'm going to show you the difference between, I think I'll do it in the light, just, now see, it's, well, this one doesn't have as thin a top, but you just kind of go over the stems with the color. All right, and then I'm going to color the leaves. I'm going to add a little bit of dark to it just to give it a little contrast, but I want to start with sorry for the sniffing. That's what happens with allergies. I love the spring, but the spring doesn't like me. Right, that's a flower, so I don't want to color that. And I'm just going to add a little bit of the dark for a little bit of contrast. You can make your own contrast too, you know. And then I'm going to color the flowers. I'm going to use the darker down low. There we go. And then the lighter up top. Whoops, wrong end. So these two are also the brush end and the marker end. So this is the light. I'm just kind of tracing the lines. There's not a lot to color because it's just the way the stamp is. So you just kind of have to do lines. And then I'm gonna, I think I'll use just the darker, I don't know, let's see. Maybe I'll use both. And I am not an artist, so you'll have to grin and bear my basic creativity. But there we go. So I just wanted you to see the difference between using the two different ones colored in and with the stamp and blends and one's not. So they're the two. And then I'm going to put it on here. And I think, let's stamp this first. Let's see what else we have here. How about, did I already stamp I appreciate you? I got missing you, and thanks, and dearest friend. Nope, so we'll use I appreciate you. And I'm going to do it in, where did I put it? Just had it. My desk is full of all kinds of product. Oh, that's the Petunia Pop. I don't want Petunia Pop. I want this, Berry Burst. So I'm just going to stamp this on here. There we go. Oh, I love allergies. Not. I'm going to use my stamp and seal. I pre-cut these. These are the deckled rectangles, and they're in the catalog at the moment, and they are going to an online exclusive after this catalog, but they're still available. So I'm going to put down this flat, and I'm going to put that on with dimensionals. But I pre-cut the decals because I thought it would be quicker. The more I can show you, the better, right? 3 on the back. And then I have somewhere, I just had it. I'll line this up. I have purple fine shimmer gems, which are also staying in the catalog, so that's why I'm using them. And it has the 2 colors in here, so that's good. I'm just going to use the darker purple, Highland Heather. Alright, I forgot an inside, so you know I don't need to waste your time with that. But anyway, so there are the 4 cards that we did tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I also have the ones that I showed you online. This is using a piece of DSP, and deckled rectangles are still available. And this piece was off of this, and I just cut it up and I ran the 2 pieces through an embossing folder and used the hexagon punch. And then to highlight the 5 new in colors, I have Shy Shamrock. I have to think of what they all are now. Seaside Spray, I think that is. What's the pink? I can't remember the pink. This is Peach Pie and Petunia Pop. And they're all the same card, and it's using this same stamp in just a single color, so that you can see how easily it is to just do that. And then I went a little overboard and I cut this in silver and embossed with the distressed tile underneath. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, there you go. And then this was heat embossed, and this is from the Sweetly Scripted, which is online exclusive. And I did not put an inside in it, but there's that. And beginning May 1st, when it comes out, anybody that orders at least the bundle, I have a 4-card tutorial I can send you for free for doing that. So that would be great if you would like to order that. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you learned a lot. Next Sunday, I will not be live because we do our paper pumpkin on Zoom. So if any of you would like to join us, please contact me through my website and I will get the link to you. But it's a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun. We have a nice group of gals and they exchange ideas and get to know each other. It's just super. So if you'd like that, please contact me. So thank you for joining me, and happy stamping.